Alright, welcome everyone, it's Visual Checkamar. I have found the new answer to the problem. If you're wondering why I'm in Wild Woods instead of way over there, it's because this is the last rest spot I found. Also, I've discovered that the music and the mic don't mix. I either have the music or I have the mic. If the two mix together, it corrupts. I don't know why it corrupts. It doesn't always corrupt. Every so often it doesn't corrupt, and then every so often it does. It goes back and forth, which is really stupid. You know what? I'm just going to fight these crows. Because this is getting ridiculous. I mean, they die instantly anyway. As it were. They're enemies that basically don't mean anything at this point in the game because of how incredibly strong I am compared to them. Like, yeah, that pretty much sums up what they're like now. They've become just like the rest of the enemies in this world that I can literally one-shot because I have been facing such powerful enemies that by the time I do something about them, you know, it just... that 600, 243, gone. The other ones, it's so powerful that it's almost a guaranteed crit. I fight the enemy, it's a guaranteed crit. But yeah, I have learned what the problem was with this game is that the music and the microphone mix together and it somehow mixes weirdly and it sounds bad. I don't understand why, and it doesn't always do this either. It's inconsistent. It's very inconsistent. Like, it can go perfectly fine. The music and the mic can go perfectly fine. And then somewhere way along the line, the video, it mixes together and it corrupts somehow. I don't understand it, though. I don't understand why it does this. I don't understand what the explanation, if there's a fix for it, if anyone knows there's a fix for it. But that is the problem. And I also don't know of an application. Maybe it could handle the audio. I could have something else that records the audio and have the thing completely not record the audio and have another audio application and then layer it on top with the video in a video editing application, because that could be a good solution. Might as well be worth buying it, because the video application, because you know, it's not always going to stay good, the whatever's going on. So in terms of the actual quest line, I mean, I don't know. People aren't really paying attention to Aveyond much anyway, despite the fact I like the game a lot. But for those of you who have been wondering what's going on with the sound, that is the update. That is the actual update on that. So it's not like I'm not listening to you guys, because I kind of am, kind of not. Part of the problem, the only thing that I'm not listening to, it's not about the sound, because I've been trying to look into that, and it's very confusing. But in terms of the actual game choice, yeah, I like Aveyond style stuff. I like it. I know a lot of other people may not be a big fan of this, but I am. I just so happen to be a fan of that. Yep, that pretty much summons up these. Gone. So, apparently, there's a rumor, though I have to go do some crazy stuff to confirm it. There's a rumor that in the sandstone caves, there is The eyeball. There's a guy with a glass eyeball. Number one, I can't confirm that straight away. And number two, it sounds much more alluring to it sounds much more alluring to go to the Redwood place. The Old Woods. Giant Old Woods. Because in here is a potential solving for a major quest. Now what's also funny is I used to think this place was the place that had the militant squirrels. It's not. Nope. It is the place with a lot of elves and an elven quest line. So that's what it's about. Yeah, I think I figured out what happened to your king. I think he got poisoned. So now that we've gotten that whole thing straight, alright, so we're going to buy some of that. So I want to sort out any of these rooms, or I go back to the wretched dungeon of death. Because yes, there's a wretched dungeon of death. And in that dungeon of death, some stuff. Rootwell is a sacred spring that nourishes the old woods. You don't like the night elves, eh? Wait a sec, what did that say? Pirates Market, history of the Rootwell. Insult a harpy, interesting. So, from what I can gather, we want to go straight into the Rootwell, which sucks because it's full of these like really obnoxious enemies. I mean really obnoxious. I mean, it has nice music, this dungeon, nice enemies. The problem, well, not as nice enemies. Well, they're nice if you like the whole, like, hyper damage, really cool enemies, sure. But the problem with the music is that if I put it on and I put my voice on at the same time, it has a chance that it will mix up badly and sound bad. That is the paradox. Wait a sec. There's more to this dungeon than meets the eye. There's a whole bridge there. Okay, I don't think this battle is necessarily avoidable, but I'm gonna try. Because it's worth a shot. With these enemies, it's worth a shot. It is worth a shot. Let me guess. So, basically, to beat this crazy Terminator dungeon of death, what I do is I make it, first I save, then I make it carefully past these enemies if I can, which doesn't seem to be that way. I'm going to use something extreme on him. Extreme. And, mildly decent. Hit him, sacrifice, 360. Wind Watchers, 647. Alright. I'm only doing this because these enemies are ridiculous. Like, I don't normally use those spells, but on here, in this dungeon, the enemies are highly, highly unpleasant. That thing is unpleasant. That Kraken thing, yeah, that thing is quite unpleasant. Like, I'll fight it if I feel like it, but right now, I'm trying to solve a quest, so I don't feel like it. Depends on what I feel like, what I'm in the mood to do. And I've fought in those things basically without my choice, almost. A lot. Yeah, I'm stuck. See? Okay, at least I can choose it. Let's try Weevils. Attack it, skill. Silence it. Basic attack, flame. I one-shot it with that. Okay. Okay, it hit itself for over 1,000. Okay, it just deleted Damien. I think I just basic attack it. Skill. An imp will do. Maybe. That basic. That one. Okay. Alright. So, I'm gonna have to do two things on Damien, because Damien got owned. So, items. Which I root. First, I'm gonna have to use another Cassia Leaf. And then I use the Witch Eye Root. And then I give him Venisons. Where is the... Like, I seriously can't find the, the place I need in there. Because I know there's a place with the harpies. I know there's a point to this dungeon, and it's not just heinous enemies. Although that's 90% of this dungeon. Basic. 25. 112. Basic. Alright. Let's try Flame Melody. Decompose. Ravern. Flame Melody. Okay, Flame Melody apparently literally one-shots it. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm very interested. Silence it. Burn. Doesn't do anything. That does 130. That gives confusion. Yeah, giving those things confusion, ooh. That's a feels bad man for it. But like, I remember it led somewhere though. Like, where does that lead? You know what's terrifying, besides just the enemies in this dungeon? What's below? I know you can't walk over it, but seriously, look what's down there. You imagine how far a fall that would be? Anyone ever think about that? I know you can't fall in this dungeon. You just get beat up by a bunch of bruisery evil things that... If I can finagle around that. Where does this go? Nowhere. Gotta memorize where everything goes. This dungeon. Avoid you. And I continue to avoid you. I don't think so. Can I avoid you, please? 3 at once. Oh, there's a chest way the hell down here. It has an apple in it. That is like one of the oddest places ever to hide an apple. How did an apple even stay good in this dungeon for this long? Okay, do these things like literally chase me down here? They do. Oh, that's fun. That's really fun. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a bunch of weevils for chasing me. Not a succubus. Give me a Wyvern. Silence Extora. Song of Madness. Give one of them mad. That doesn't work. Throw weevils on you. Okay, that worked. That's one of the problems. If one of them lives past that, they just die. Shattered Tides, Breath, Fireball, to 0 damage somehow. One. Boot Slap and Mara. Hope it keeps the confusion on it. Crit. Basic. Okay. Because, like, these enemies, literally, when you're fighting them, the whole thing about fighting them is to make sure that the confusion stays on them long enough that they just die. That's part of it with those specific enemies. I don't know why they made that whole platform just for that amount of money. I know these enemies are absolutely annoying though. Like, for real. These enemies are super annoying. Speaking of annoying. Skill. Weevil. Skill. Heal. Did you see what that flame melody did to that guy? One-shot him. But they have other one-shot powers. I needed to confuse him. Song of Madness. That didn't even make him confused. Or did it? I honestly can't tell. Let's use up some of these Cassie leaves. And some of these venisons. Oh, I'm just gonna fight you. Sacrifice you. Okay, that worked out. Oh yeah, I vividly remember this BS. Yeah, this is the way. This is the way. Alright, you know what? Just to make this easier, gonna 1v1. It didn't let me 1v1. Wow. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that on that. Chuck them full of weevils. Summon a Wyvern. And silence their entire team. That should do it. Possibly. Silence Extora. Flame Melody's gonna one-shot him. Then they're gonna eat something. That guy's gonna one-shot her. This guy's gonna... Okay. That's alarming. I'm gonna at least revive Lars as he is, because he's not. Oh my god. That was not what I was looking for. This is the thing about this dungeon that's really annoying. You make one misjudgment around these like wicked enemies and they just kill you. Straight up. Kill the entire team. So easily. He crit himself for 2k. Yeah, like, these enemies, man. Okay, you know what? I'm fighting you. You know what? To make this quicker. Yeah. That'll actually one-shot you. Although I'm not sad. Because that thing is such a pain in my side this whole time. It's like, oh, we learned a spell that can one-shot it? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. One-shot that thing. Get that thing out of my face. Please. It's not where I wanted to go. I like how the second I make progress, the game's like, oh, you made progress. Oh boy. Well, so let's do something about that. Let's do something about that. I like how this, what's-his-face, is on like the most narrow... Actually... Flame Melody... Weevil... Ravern... Silence Explora. So it silences, deletes that major guy. Okay. Succubus isn't strong enough? Okay. Can we just basic attack you to death? That would be so much more convenient. Nope. Okay. This is so difficult. This dungeon is so difficult because it's so hard to figure out what will affect them because they have so many immunities and they do so much damage. Oh god. I don't want to 1v1 you. I want to save my supplies. I think that's the way back out, so... Assuming I go down, yeah, I go down this way, and around this way, and if I can somehow get a 1v1 with one of these boogers, that would be great. Okay, is he far enough away? Alright, at least he didn't come up with all the boogers, because that would have sucked. $729 imp. 0 damage. Sacrifice. Succubus. Reverend. Sacrifice. Oh my god, really? I hate these enemies, man. Trying to figure out what works against them is so annoying. And I'm pretty sure Fireball does not work against them either, if you're at all curious. I'm pretty sure they're immune to fire and lightning. Get the frick away from me, you giant squid. And just wait, like I use this stupid spell I have. Like if I use this spell on an enemy from a different world, they'll just die. Like it won't even be a contest. But in this dungeon, oh no. This dungeon, every enemy is like OP. I'm gonna use that on you and then weevil everything. Summon an imp, throw it on him. Use his skill. Bless himself. Give him weevils. Have him get one shot. Oh, he's fun. Song of Madness. Everyone just attack it. Is there any way of baiting this guy out so I don't have to fight him? Because these things are like nightmares. Never mind. Never mind! It's the nightmare scenario. Okay, that gets rid of some of them. Gonna do the flame melody into sacrifice on that thing. And then that thing, and then maybe invigorate. There we go. Come on, please. Thank God. Thank God, because this dungeon is a nightmare and a half to deal with these enemies. It is nearly impossible to avoid them in that particular narrow corridor. And then it's like, did I just 1v1 the Kraken? No, I 1v1. I had to fight their entire team and use a whole bunch of spells and risk everything. The nectar. Alright. More of these bozos. Okay, does that fix the problem? Other than, of course, the rampaging. Alright, next time on this game, I've got to figure out whether that's fixed everything with that. And, of course, if that's fixed the